Some crazy stuff happened this week.
Dude, some shit went down. Hey guys, welcome back to whatever we decided to name this podcast. Because we're recording before we name anything.
That's funny. I can't wait until future me listens to this version of me, knowing what the podcast's name is.
Yeah, pretty much. Like, it'll be so much better than us sitting here going, what the heck are we doing right now?
I hope I'm wearing a shirt with the name of the podcast on it, listening to this and laughing.
Goals, we're manifesting it now. We're manifesting it now.
With a little sticker and a logo on my mic.
Yeah, with better mics.
Better mics.
With, like, the whole setup. And we're not, like,
crying
in your niece's bedroom. With a blanket backdrop.
Oh my god. I like unicorns and fuzzy blankets. So this is not a bad setup to me.
To me, it's just, like, the simple comfortability, you know?
Yeah.
That word
it has
that
these
I can't
vibes
say.
of, like, little kid slumber parties that we never got to have. So it's, like, recreating.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's, like,
You
adult
know?
best friends that are getting to, like, be kid friends again.
Yeah.
Or not again.
They're
Anyway.
being friends first.
Yeah. Okay, so we're recreating our little kid slumber party.
Yeah, and I mean, like, if you're deciding to watch this on YouTube or you're not, you can watch this on YouTube and you can see exactly what we're talking about.
Yeah.
It's, you know, real cozy.
Mm-hmm.
I'm here for it.
Mm-hmm.
But one day we're going to glow up. We're going to have a glow up.
Yes.
We're going to have a real glow up.
Yeah.
Blankets will still be involved, but...
Oh, I hope so.
Oh,
The first
okay.
thing I want to talk about is this phrase that I thought up.
Okay.
It's called Camo FOMO.
I'm sorry, camo.
Yeah, like camouflage.
Okay.
FOMO.
Like F-O-M-O. Fear of
Yeah.
missing out.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay.
What? I
So
need
if you
to
know
what this
anything,
means.
yeah. So if you know anything about Nikki, she travels frequently. And if you know anything about me, you know that I like to travel, but I feel like I travel frequently compared to, like, the normal person.
Oh, for sure.
But I don't nearly go anywhere as often as Nikki's constantly traveling. Like, she literally has to share her location with me because sometimes it's easier to just check her location instead of, like, texting her, hey, are you home?
Yeah, and especially because when I'm traveling, I will let it all pile up. I
Yeah.
will not answer nothing.
Yeah. So when Nikki's home, quote unquote home, she's with her mom.
Yes.
And in their house, there's a big...
Oh, no. Oh, no.
I'm roasting you.
You really are. What the heck?
She sits in this big camouflage reclining chair.
I'm dead, dude. I'm dead.
And whenever I picture Nikki being at home, I picture her in this big camouflage, no offense, super hideous chair. So, like...
It's horrendous.
Really pretty person, ugly chair. Insert picture of it here.
Yeah, literally.
That's like the true roast. Is like you will get, if you're watching this, you'll get to see it.
Yeah.
And
it's not in a pretty room either. I mean, like, I don't really like live in an aesthetically pleasing house, I would say, by any means, but like
it's like a house for living.
Yeah, it's like a home. Like, it's homey in there. It's just like not, you know. It's not gonna go on Pinterest.
It's a normal house where, like, you can tell that generations have lived in there. It's filled with love. It's not filled with, like, a Home and Garden magazine. But,
yeah.
Right? Is that
Yeah. We're not like Chip and Joanna Gaines up in here. Like,
ugh.
I love them, but like,
yeah.
that's just not the vibe.
Yeah. So when I picture Nikki at home, I picture her in that chair editing stuff and, like, playing on her computer or whatever.
Just playing on my computer.
Yeah, just playing on it. Something really unique happened this week in our friendship, and it's the first time that it's happened. Did you even realize it?
What?
I was on an adventure, and for the first time, you were not. So,
oh my god.
You
know what? I did kind of, like, think of that. But, like, I didn't fully register it because I was like, no, it's not real.
Thanks. So anyways, the whole time I was on my trip, I was hoping that you were having Camo FOMO.
I for sure thought you were gonna, like, turn that around and say, like, you wished you were at home with me sitting in the camo chair.
I mean, like, always, but mostly not.
Yeah, no. I was like, dude, why would you miss that chair? And you know what? I think, like, first of all, that is 100% accurate. I was just baking in that room. Because, okay, like, also for other reference with this chair and where it's located in my house is, like, the room it's in used to be a porch, like an actual porch on the back of the house.
The best part is they still call it the porch, which is really confusing if you've never seen it as a porch.
Yeah.
And like, I've only ever known it as a room.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, we're out on the porch. And I'm like, what in the
okay,
fuck?
but, like, I've also never seen it as a porch. Like, my grandparents covered that when they, like, moved in the house, I'm pretty sure, or, like, after they had been there for a little bit.
The way you talk about it, like, I figured, like, okay, so we've been, like, friends for, like, 6 years.
Yeah.
I figured you covered it 7 years ago.
No, dude. That thing has been covered so long, and it's, like, so old that, like, there's a foundation problem. It's falling off the side of the house because it wasn't properly put on.
So one day it'll have to revert back to a porch, so at least it's still called the porch.
Yeah, like, quite literally.
Okay, well, can't change the name of it now.
No, it's still the back porch, but yeah, it is confusing to most people. They're like, what do you mean back porch? But for reference, I have no central AC in this house. This house is, like, old. So, like, Mariah is, like, right, that I just sit in this chair all day and I bake. It's, like, it's essentially like a, like a greenhouse, essentially, but it is so hot. And I definitely, like, have every time I have to sit back there and work, I come home and I'm like, I'm going to get so much work done. And then I sit back there and I bake and I'm like, you know what? I could be, like, baking in Rome right now or in California instead of, like, baking on this back porch, fake back porch.
In a giant camouflage chair.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh.
What a life. That is 100% not what I thought that was going to be.
Yeah. So while Nikki was very boringly in the Midwest sitting at home, I was on an adventure in California. And I'm only being so harsh because it's the other way around, like 90% of the time. So I have every right to be like, nana nana boo boo.
Yeah, please rub it in my face because I want to know what it feels like.
You were home. I hope it was really boring. Nothing significant happened in the best way.
I couldn't tell you a thing that happened this week.
And I was living it up. I was in California.
Yeah.
The sunshine on me at all times.
And you know what? You were, like, living the dream without posting it all over social media. So, like, I really was missing out. I really was like, what the hell is Mariah doing right now?
I know. I thought, like, I should put stuff on my stories. Because when you travel, I love keeping up to date with you. And I'm like, how many people would love to, like, see what I'm doing? Not that many, but for those few, yeah. For the few that would, like, it would be fun. Do you look back at your old stuff?
Oh, yeah, all the time.
Content? Okay.
All the time.
Yeah, so I wonder if I would. Like, I love looking back at pictures I've taken, but it's never of me. And I'm like, I wish I did. Like, I would love to see myself in those moments.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, like, I think that's, like, the best part of, like, being a content creator for me, and even, like, why I started a YouTube channel in the first place. Like, if you watch my cringy video, my very first cringy YouTube video, I sat down for, like, 20 minutes and, like, explained why I wanted to start a YouTube channel, and, like, nobody cares about that, and I really should put that as a private video, and now I think I'm going to before anybody else can listen to this and go back, because I'm
gonna go watch it tonight
so
before I miss out.
Yeah, you have 12 hours, and then I'm taking that off. 12 hours. Yeah, I'm putting that on private.
Oh, God, it's already midnight.
Oh,
I'm noon tomorrow. Okay. But, anyways, I landed in LAX, hopped off the plane at LAX with the dream in my heart again. Oh, was it cart?
I thought it was cardigan.
Cardigan?
That's what I thought.
I thought it was cart again. So then I thought it was heart again.
Oh,
with
maybe
the dream
it is
in my
cardigan.
heart again. We should probably look that up. Anyways. These are 90s babies
pretending
who just don't know their Hannah Montana. Is that Miley Cyrus or Hannah Montana?
It was Miley Cyrus. It was like
that's the whole
right after Hannah Montana.
Okay, so it was like basically on the cusp of being Hannah Montana.
No, this was when she really started getting edgy.
Okay.
Like Hannah Montana was done, and then she like
was full Miley.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, not full Miley. That took a little bit longer.
Yeah. That took a little bit longer.
Okay, so I was in LA area exploring around. Went to a couple. Went to Malibu again in Laguna. I know.
Dream. Was it sunny this time?
No, there were a couple times where I wish I had a coat. No, you know what? I'm trying to make you jealous. So for the listeners, I want to let them know that there were times where I wish I brought a coat with me in the middle of July during the day in California. And in the Midwest, back home, it was like 100 degrees. There were days where it was like at least 20 degrees warmer here than it was there. I didn't even get into the ocean on one of my beach days. And I'm not a suntan girl. I'm a get in the water girl.
Yeah. Well, and I also just, like, don't understand how, like, how many times, like, you've been to LA twice now this year.
Yeah.
And haven't gotten, like everybody,
weather.
Yeah, everybody there is always like, I don't own sweaters and I don't own hoodies because it doesn't get cold enough. And
It was so cold.
It was cold when we were there.
Yeah.
I think I spent like most of mornings like fully in sweatshirts and like sweatpants.
Yeah. And I'm not talking like, nighttime we're in the desert, it's going to get cold. I'm talking going to lunch and being cold.
No.
Yeah. It was really weird. And the other thing that was so strange is, not only am I a water girly, I'm a beachcombing girly. I like to find, like, seashells and sea glass and treasures.
Oh, girl, I remember your treasure pack on our way home.
Yeah.
You got it all, girl.
Yeah. And, like, sometimes I don't even necessarily take it. I just like to see it. I didn't find anything.
What?
Nothing. I was with my nieces. It was their first time ever to the ocean, so they were so excited to find real seashells. We found nothing. It was so weird. Like, the tides were really high, I guess.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. Do you remember that one cave I went through last time we were at El Matador?
Yeah.
You couldn't even pass through it at low tide.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Look at us landlocked girls. Like,
I know.
We have no idea how the ocean works.
I know. Yeah, I was like, what? So I guess the time that we were there, it must have been pretty low tide.
Oh, that's fucking crazy.
A low tide. I'm going to be so honest for a second. And I think anyone that lives near the ocean or knows how that works is going to, like, instantly never listen again. I thought the tide went to two places. Like, there was high tide and there was low tide. And, like, it went between the two. I didn't realize that, like, high tide could be in several different spots and, like, low tide could be in several different spots. Like, I did, but I didn't. I knew there could be, like, a margin of error by, like, 5 feet or so, but I didn't know it could be, like, drastically different.
I feel like when I first heard of that, I thought the same thing. But then I experienced the ocean and I was like, oh, no, that wouldn't make any sense at all.
Yeah.
But it's easy to just, like, get stuck in that thought and be like, whatever. But,
yeah. Yeah, like I get it with my adult brain, but also, like, it's confusing.
Yeah, it's super confusing.
So, yeah, but overall it was pretty good.
Any super weird experiences?
So, on the way to LA, I had this kind of, like, a fun experience that I always hear about people having, but it's never happened to me. I didn't even get to tell you about this at all yet.
No.
So, on my flight to LA, we missed our flight per usual. I don't know why.
What do you mean per usual?
Like, I've missed more flights than I've made flights.
Stop it right now, dude. I have never, knock on wood, never missed a flight.
She's a 10, but she frequently misses her flights. She's still a 10.
4.
Oh!
Okay, 6, because she still figures out how to get on the flight.
Oh! Still gets that destination. This time we missed our flight, and I get on, and something cool happened, right? So I didn't get to sit by everyone else that I was flying with. I had to sit by myself, which is kind of a bummer. So I sit down, and this young girl gets on the plane. Not young, like, young sounds creepy. She was, like, my age. Maybe, like, 3 or 4 years younger than us.
It's like young woman.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, our age woman.
Yeah, we're young women.
We were young women. We were, like, adults. This adult lady. That sounds too old. Anyways, this person about our age sat down next to me.
And for reference, age, I'm 28. You don't have to say your age. But
I'm, like, 30.
Yeah. So, like, our age.
Yeah, our age. We talked the entire flight. Like, I made a friend on a flight.
No, that's the best.
We literally follow each other on Instagram and everything. It's, like, official.
That is exactly how you make friends. Like, exactly. Doesn't it make you feel like you're, like, moving your life in the right direction when shit like that happens?
Yeah, like, it's...
Or, like, I guess, how did you take that? Maybe I shouldn't put thoughts in your brain on that, but...
So I think of her and I think of this, like, cool adventure that I went on and all the things we talked about. And she's this little fragment in my life that, like, most likely I'll probably never meet her again. I hope I like run into her. Her name is
Yeah.
Madeline. Hi, Madeline, if you're listening.
Yeah, rad.
Most likely we'll never see each other again, even though I hope we do. She was fun. But she told me about, like, some cool beaches and tips around that area because she's from Laguna Beach area.
Okay, cool.
And that was really fun. So for me, she's this little fragment in my life and this person that I think of when I think of this adventure, or like if I think of her, then I think of this adventure, right?
Yeah.
And so I hope it's the same on her end. Like, I hope she thinks back on me and is like, cool, I hope she had a fun adventure and she was like a cool person I met. Because she moved from an awesome area of California, in my opinion, to Montana.
Oh.
Yeah.
Isn't, like, I feel like that's always so weird when people, like, do the opposite of what, like, we would do. I mean, like, Montana's beautiful and there's, like, nothing wrong with Montana. But, like, if I'm going to leave South Dakota, you bet your ass I'm, like, within an hour of the ocean. Yeah. Like, I'm not trying to, like...
Yeah.
Just one landlocked space to another.
Ugh.
Not right now. Who am I to freaking talk? I lived in Colorado for freaking 10 years.
I feel like there's, like, Midwest, and then there's, like, the next step up would be, like, by a big airport, and then the next step up is, like, near the ocean.
Yeah.
And there's nothing in between. You're one of those 3 segments, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Because when you get more than, like, 2 hours from a destination, the reality is you're not going there often enough to, like, say you live near it.
For sure.
Yeah.
Okay, so I have another question about this interaction on the plane.
Mm-hmm.
Did you tell her anything so blatantly honest about your life that you wouldn't tell anybody that's, like, close to you?
She knows everything.
Yeah.
It was, like, an hour-and-a-half flight at that. She knows everything.
Isn't that the best, though?
Yeah, it's so
That
weird.
is, like, my favorite thing to do, and then I leave and I'm like, damn.
She knows my relationship status. I know everything about her relationship status. I know, like, the reason she was coming home.
Yeah.
Like, she was coming to help with some family things. I know, like...
Yeah. Like, everything.
Everything. Yeah. I know everything about her, and she knows everything about me.
That's, like, seriously the best feeling, though.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
yeah.
It's so nice when you get, like, sat down next to somebody cool on a flight.
Yeah. Something happened, though, that was kind of funny.
Okay, please tell me, and then I have, like, 2 crazy flight stories I want to tell you.
Yeah, please.
I feel like this episode's going to be so long. I have no idea.
I know.
But it's okay. I'm so excited.
This is interesting, yeah.
Yeah.
So my seat was in the middle of these 2 people, right? And it was the aisle, and then it was the rest of my group. And so I was asking the person on the aisle to switch me, because, like, this is like TMI and boring, but I had, like, stuff I had to pass back and forth, so, like, it was uncomfortable for him to be there.
Yeah.
He was a total grouch head. It was like an old man reading a newspaper. Cringe.
Yeah. Ick.
Brings me to the ick of the week. Ick of the week. People who bring newspapers on flights. Why do you do that?
Yeah.
You have to hold it so wide. You're in my personal square.
Oh, and it's like, it's not like they couldn't fold it up. Like the newspaper, like, when they're printed double wide like that, like, you can fold that back on itself.
That is 4 quadrants.
Yeah, you literally can, like, back fold that and just have it be in your space.
No, but he did full read.
On an airplane.
On an airplane.
Not in
Thank goodness
economy plus or first class.
No, like regular people airplane.
In the sardine can. He's in the sardine can trying to do yoga with a newspaper.
Yeah. And I always fly regular person, so don't think I'm making fun of regular people.
Yeah, no.
That's where I live. But I don't even live there. That, like, makes it sound like I get to go too much, too. Thank goodness I made friends with the person next to me, so I could kind of, like, share her area with her.
Yeah.
But I asked him if he would switch with me, and he told me no, which is fine. I know people, like, pay extra to, like, sit in the aisle, whatever. Have at it, friend. I could tell that he was annoyed by, like, our conversation, because we were just going and going, like, you know, everything.
Some
like,
people hate that.
I know about her sex life. She knows about my sex life.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so does this guy by default. But I ordered tomato juice. Like, do you have a regular that you always order when they give out the complimentary drinks and snacks?
Usually a Sprite.
Usually a Sprite. Okay. I always get a Bloody Mary mix. Like the spicy tomato juice.
With no alcohol.
No, with no alcohol. Spicy tomato mix with the saltier snack. So, like, if they have, like, a cookie or, like, a cracker pretzel, I'll always go cracker pretzel with the salty tomato juice. It's so good.
I don't know if I would just drink straight tomato juice on an airplane. I mean, I wouldn't even really do that in real life.
I crave it. I get to the airport and I'm like, ugh.
Oh, I get to the airport and I am full
juice.
Bloody Mary or red beer. Like, I'm full, that's what I want.
Me too, but without the beer.
But I want the alcohol.
Yeah, no, but like literally, like I get and I start like salivating, like tomato juice.
Same. Every bar I walk by, I'm like looking around to see if somebody has a bomb Bloody Mary, and I'm like,
yeah,
I need to, like, I'm trying to sniff it out.
Yeah, yeah.
But
so
I'm not on the plane.
We are like every topic of our lives. I know her family history. I know. She showed me pictures of her siblings. Like, I know everything about her. She's like, I do not tell people about these beaches, but here's where you need to go. And, like, gave me all the deets, right? I took notes because I didn't get to go to all of it, but next time we go to California, I know the local spots. Yeah.
Okay. Drop it.
I spilled my tomato juice all over newspaper guy. Biggest airplane no. I did it. Thank God I made friends with the girl next to me because I had to put all my shit on her tray, like fold up my tray. And you know what he ended up doing? I would give money.
Using his newspaper to clean it up.
Did he? Yes.
Yes.
It was like out of a movie. Like, it does not feel real. It is one of those moments. I just sat back and I was like so red-faced and I was like, I am so thankful that you and I talked this whole time because it was like right before we were landing. So we had this whole time to like bond and then I was like, oh.
How full was it? Like how much?
It was like my whole drink because we were talking too much. I didn't have time to drink.
I can't.
A whole entire tomato juice.
So it like on hit like whole body got him.
No, it like,
or like his pants.
I tilted it on my tray and so it like splashed on him.
Was he wearing white?
No.
Damn.
But I mean, it's tomato juice. Like even on his black pants, you could see the spots of tomato juice. Wouldn't you be so pissed?
Hope you had a tied to go pen.
Yeah. So like my whole like little personal bag smelled like tomato juice the whole trip, which is kind of a bummer. But it was not a big deal. But it was so funny that he had to clean it up with his stupid newspaper because he fell asleep holding his newspaper like this, you know? Like
no, you don't get to like come in there and take up all the space and then fall asleep.
Yeah, with your newspaper open and with the stupid light. I don't like people that you're on a dark flight and they turn on the light.
Oh, I hate that. And then like the long international flights when like there's my last flight, there was like a little kid and like the dad just didn't care and the little kid was like throwing open the shade and we were like chasing the sunlight, right?
Oh.
Like, and it was like I'm trying to sleep and it's like full sunlight, no sunlight, like that and like the reading lights like irk the crap out of me sometimes. Yeah. Like
it's like you're invading everyone else's space.
Yeah.
So thankfully my new friend helped me clean up this mess. And this cute, adorable flight attendant like brought me a first class blanket to use to like clean up all the tomato because there was tomato juice everywhere. So like the little blankets they give you in first class.
Yeah.
I gotta have one of those on a plane. So like I can just pretend like I've flown first class.
Oh, there you go. I mean,
because I basically had the blanket.
You have the souvenir now. Like nobody can tell you otherwise.
I did not keep it. I know.
You should have kept it.
I kind of thought about it, but I was like, is that weird? Is that thirsty? I was thirsty because I did not have tomato juice anymore.
Dude.
Yeah, I've been so excited to tell you that story.
Oh, that was so good. Like, I thankfully have never spilled something on somebody, but...
But you've made plane friends?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Okay, so the first time I would, like, maybe not the first time, but one time that I, like, really remember making, like, a plane friend. I think I was, like, coming back from New York City to, like, visit my family or, like, something when I lived there. Or maybe I'd, like, gone to visit a friend before I moved there. I don't remember. I know it was a flight from New York. And I was, like, in a 3-row, and there was nobody in the middle seat, and there was this guy on the outside seat, and he, like, started talking to me, and he was super nice. Like, he wasn't really, like, cute, but he wasn't, like, unattractive. Like, he was just kind of, like, one of those guys where I was, like...
Okay.
Yeah.
Tolerate
like,
it.
You look nice, and it doesn't seem like you're being creepy, whatever. And he was chill the whole flight. Like, him and I talked the whole flight, and there were people that were, like, turning around and looking at us, like, can you shut up?
That's how I felt.
Yeah, like, we talked the whole flight. And I know there are people, like, I see memes on the internet all the time where people are like, do not talk on flights. And I'm like... How am I supposed to fall in love with somebody if I don't talk to them on the flight, right?
Sorry you've never made a plane friend.
Yeah. Like, that just seems like you're just, like, really closed off to the world. Like, how are you going to travel and be closed off to the world?
Before this experience, I could see, thinking back, like, where people, I'm like, if you're going to a destination with someone, you have that whole time to talk. You don't need to talk when we're all sharing this tiny space. And if you just met them on the plane, like, you'll never see them again. You don't need to talk when you're in this tiny space. But now that, like, I had this moment, I'm like, talk.
Yeah.
Like, I will join in. Could I, like, stick my nose in it? Hi.
Yeah, hi. Hey, tell me.
Me too.
How's it going? Yeah.
Me too. Yeah.
Yeah, so talked to this guy, like, it was super chill. And then, like, he wanted to get my phone number, and I was like, no. Like, I don't.
Ooh, yeah.
Like, I just was like, And then he was like, I think I asked him about, like, Instagram or something, and this was, like, before I started doing content creation. Like, this was years before, so I was just like, oh, like, Instagram, I can follow somebody, whatever. Mm-hmm. And I think he said, like, he didn't have an Instagram. So, Snapchat, we traded Snapchat, and the dude was chill. Like, it was, like, we're just friends, like, he caught the vibe, like, everything's good, we're, like, Snapchatting each other, like, and not every day, and not in streaks, like, literally was, like, the most basic, like, I made a friend on an airplane situation.
Cool.
And then one day...
Oh, God.
I get this Snapchat.
Don't.
Dude.
Of his...
No.
Good.
Of his neighbors going at it through a window, like, up 2 floors. He took this video of his neighbors. And, like, this woman is fully naked. Like, fully naked. And I can fully see this man's expression of, like, having a good time. And, like, you can hear her. Minor technical difficulties. We're back. Video stopped recording, so that's why that cut on YouTube. But anyway, this guy sends me the video of his neighbors going to town in full detail.
Weird.
And I just was like, bro.
Okay, but if I, how would you feel if you got that same snap from me?
Okay, but, okay, I guess, like, I should say, like, leading up to this, he was, like, kind of getting, like, a little bit where I was like, ooh, like, he was, like, trying to let me know that he, like, was interested, but it was, like, it got weird instead of me being like, oh, it's cool that you're interested. Like, it just got weird. And then, like, he sent me that, and I was like,
oh, okay.
Block. Like,
yeah.
I was like, I'm out. Like, it was so weird. And I was like, okay, no.
Sad.
Yeah, so that was, like, kind of a weird experience. And
not a good ending to a plane friend.
No, for sure. But I do have a good ending to a plane friend.
Okay, I'm ready.
So when I went to Hawaii last year...
Plot twist, we met on this flight. No, just kidding.
That would have been...
That's a boring story. We'll save that for later.
Yeah, that'll be a different time.
But it is the name of our podcast.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Who knows? You guys know what we name this podcast, do we?
We don't.
Absolutely not. Okay, so when on my way to Hawaii, there was, like, I, like, had the very last seat, like, the very last row window on the airplane, and, like, there's this, like, older woman. I'm saying older because she was, like, full gray hair. Like, I'm not saying, like, older, like, she's maybe 2 years older than me.
Okay, so she's, like, an adult.
Yeah, like, actually an older, and she, like, kind of seemed a little senile, and she was, like, talking to me, and, like, sat down, and she was in the aisle. Like, I was in the window, and she was in the aisle, and she is just going to town, like, yakking at me, and I was like, okay, I don't know who's gonna sit in this middle seat yet, but, like, I feel bad for both of us, like, because I was just kind of like, this can't happen for 6 hours, right? Because this woman was, like, already repeating herself. Like, it was just, like, one of those things where I was like, she's really, 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 really nice, but I don't want to listen to somebody, like, tell the same story twice, kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And then she's, like, telling me about this girl that she was talking to off the plane, and she made it seem like this was, like, a girl on another flight. No, she gets on the plane, so, like, there's, like, 5 people left coming down the aisle, and the one was like, oh, that's the girl I was talking to. And it's this young girl. Like, she's, like, younger than me. Like, I could tell she was, like, younger than me, and, like, so last year I was 27. I could tell she was, like, younger than me, probably, like, early 20s. And I was like, cool. Like, she's definitely coming to sit back here. And she, like, and then the woman was, like, so excited that they were, like, sitting next to each other because they, like, didn't know, because they had gotten along, like, really well off the plane. And, like, this girl sat down, and her and I talked for, like, 4 hours of this 6-hour flight on the way to Hawaii. And, like, we chatted about, like, life and relationships, and, like, she had, like, all these crazy things that I was like, homegirl, how did that?
And she's young.
Yeah, like, crazy stuff, dude, that I'm just like, how did that happen to you in your life? And then, I was, like, telling her stuff about my life, and, like, how I ended up, like, going to Hawaii, and, like, all of this stuff. And then she was like, no, but I'm gonna be here for like 6 months and like I want to make friends. Like she was going to stay for like, she was moving with like to be with one of her friends that was like, please just come to Hawaii and like live with me for like 6 months and then we'll like go home, because she had to go.
A friend that says that.
Yeah. And so like that's what she was doing, and I was like, that's so cool, I'm gonna be here for a month, like we should totally hang out and do some hikes and stuff. And like the first hike I did, this girl came and like we hiked together and like met up with like, so the girl that I was staying with, who's like now one of my best friends too, like in Hawaii, like met her on the internet. There was another girl living in Hawaii that like we met, and like the 4 of us like all went and like hiked together and like took photos of each other. Like I like even took photos of her as a photographer and sent them to her and was like, here's photos of your first hike in Hawaii.
Cute. Yeah. Yeah. That's like a big deal.
Yeah. And like we're friends on Instagram, and like she actually is like, she's from Colorado, so like I got to see her like leave Hawaii, like live her Hawaii dream, and then like come back on Instagram, and then like she's like she was telling me about this guy that she was talking to before she left Colorado and like all this stuff, and like she came back and she's like with the guy and like all this stuff, and like she even emailed me the other day and like was asking me about like some marketing stuff because she works for a ski resort and like all this stuff. So it's like so cool that like like we don't talk every day, but we get to like see each other's
like
lives.
Good plane friend.
Yeah, like it ended so cool.
I hope that's how my plane friend is.
Yeah,
I told her I was gonna message her, but I never did, because she told me to touch a sea anemone, and I did it, and I took a video of it so I could send it to her.
Send it to her.
I should.
Yeah,
that'd be cute. I'll update you guys if she replies.
Yeah, I think you definitely should, because that's how you keep those friendships, is you just like tell people random stuff. Like,
yeah, I told her that a goal for my trip was to see a starfish, because I've never seen a starfish like in the wild.
Did you see one?
No. I know. One day I will though, and I will let her know.
Yeah,
because that's why she gave me her secret spots. She was like,
wanted you to see
like I want this to happen for you.
Yeah.
Oh.
California was the first place.
And she's like, I will never tell people where to find sea glass, because I feel like it just like gets, because I told her how I have like a cool clear vase where I kept my sea glass from last time.
Yeah.
And I'm like, the sun shines through the vase, through the sea glass, and I just feel like so peaceful and excited about it. And she was like, I want you to find sea glass because I like think it will be so cherished.
Oh, I love that so much.
I know. So I need to tell her that I found that I touched an anemone thing. Yeah. And it was so cool.
Oh yeah. It's so neat.
It was gross.
Dude.
But it was so
Wait
cool.
till you see a starfish and you touch one.
I'm not touching a starfish.
Oh, you should.
Yeah.
It's like,
but like, remember when I got stung by a jellyfish?
Did you get stung again?
No, this is from last time.
Oh, I thought you got stung on your leg.
No, this is where I got stung.
Okay.
It's a scar now. It's like a real scar.
You have like a full...
It's like it's from far away. Like that will be for life. Like I got stung by a jellyfish.
Yeah, for sure.
Like there's no doubt that
I'm happy you have that memory forever.
It's a scar from our first road trip.
Yeah. Scars
was that
first.
Our first road trip? No. Did we ever drive to Denver together?
No. We met in Denver because we were gonna go, but then I was in Costa Rica and I came back from Costa Rica and met you for that, and then I had to drive my own car back.
Yeah. Okay. That was our first road trip.
Yeah.
Which is an epic first road trip.
Yeah. That was
probably need a whole podcast episode to
maybe we'll make like a whole episode about that.
Yeah.
Or a few. We probably can make a few about that trip.
Probably can make a few about that trip.
Yeah, there's a few good stories in there that we could share.
Full circle here. When I was in California, living my best California life, did you have FOMO?
Yeah.
Did the FOMO take place while you were sitting in the camo chair?
I think when I was sitting camo adjacent.
So would you say that you had Camo FOMO?
Yeah, for sure. Oh, I just like scratched the shit out of my lip.
That makes it better.
I know, like it really was like just the icing on top of the cake. How that hurt so bad.
So you had Camo FOMO. That makes me so excited.
I did, for sure. I'm really happy that you put all that together for me, because that's 100% not what I thought it was. Like 100% not what I thought it was.
Yeah. I thought about it on the plane back home. I was like, I hope Nikki's having Camo FOMO.
Oh, yeah.
Because I always have FOMO when you're out on your adventures. Never sitting in a camouflage chair.
Yeah.
Never once.
No.
Never once.
I mean...
I've never seen a camo chair except for yours.
I mean, that's not technically my chair, okay? My sister and I think my mom, and maybe my brother. It might have just been my sister, my mom, and I. Wow, English lost me right there. I still don't even think that was correct. We got that for my stepdad for like Father's Day one year or something. Like it was his share. And it was supposed to go in the basement. And so like his man came and it did not.
That's really sweet of you guys, I will say. I'm really excited that now I've kind of forced you into posting a picture of the camo chair on the internet.
Yeah, I'm never gonna live that down.
Nikki, I want you to say, I have Camo FOMO.
I had Camo FOMO.
Good. I can't tell you how gratifying that is.
I'm so happy that made you feel good. Like, I'm so happy that we, like, had the roles reversed for once. And that it just so happened to be the perfect start for this podcast.
Yeah. I feel like we're starting this podcast with me as the upper hand of the traveler.
Oh, yeah. For sure.
Which is...
Everyone... And then it's about to go down.
No! Give me my moment and let me keep it.
Okay, keep it. I'll save it for next week.
Yeah. Okay, bye.
See you guys next time.
Love you, good night.
Yeah, love you, good night.
That'd be kind of funny to end it with love you, good night.
Yeah, I think that's a good one. I like that a lot.
Because that is true. We, like, said that almost every day of our big road trip. Yeah.
Oh, also do all of the podcast things, which I don't know what they are, but I think you're supposed to subscribe.
This podcast can be found wherever... This podcast can be found on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever podcasts are found.
And YouTube.
And TikTok. Maybe Instagram.
Yeah. Yeah, you know, there's just things.
Look for us if you like us.
Yeah, that's really the only message we got for you here.
We'll be here weekly.
Should we say love you, good night at the same time?
Love you, good night.
Is that cute?